Welcome Bitcoin friends, it's Bitcoin Mamo. Today we're going to look at the Bitcoin charts and also some altcoin charts. And we're going to look at a particular pattern that we tend to see after we get these blow off tops and enter this bear market phase. And if we are in a bear market in Bitcoin, why haven't we seen this typical pattern that we've seen during the last two cycles? So something a bit different. If that sounds interesting, stay tuned and let's get into the charts. This is the Bitcoin chart here. We can see we had that run in 2012, 2013, and then we had a blow off top here. We formed this descending triangle pattern here. We bounced in between this triangle a few times. Then we did break down and form the bottom of the bear market. 2016, 2017 bull run, we had that blow off top. And then we also formed a similar descending triangle pattern. Several touches on both sides here. We broke to the downside, we formed the bear market low, then we carried on the next bull market cycle. So with our current pattern here, if we are in a bear market, it does look very different to these previous topping out patterns. So there is still that question, are we in a bear market or are we still in a bull market? As we did form a higher high here, rather than that typical descending triangle pattern. So we're going to look at some altcoin charts and their bear markets and perhaps get a clue as to whether Bitcoin is in a bear market here or we're doing something different and this is just a consolidation before the continuation of the bull market. Zooming in a bit closer here, those previous charts were on the log scale. All the rest of these charts are going to be on the regular scale. So I've just zoomed into the 2018 bear market for Bitcoin. Just drawn this approximate descending triangle. We bounced in between, then we broke down and reached the bottom of the bear market. This chart looks similar here. This is actually Litecoin in the same bear market period in 2018. We did a similar pattern after a blow off top, formed a descending triangle, broke below it eventually, and bottomed out in the bottom of the bear market. So we saw a similar pattern on Litecoin and Bitcoin there. And Litecoin also did this during the 2014 bear market. We had that blow off top. We formed a similar descending triangle pattern. We broke below and formed the bottom of the bear market. As we mentioned, Bitcoin has done a different pattern here if we are in a bear market. But when we look at Litecoin, we see something quite different. We do have a blow off top here back in May of 2021. We came all the way down, we formed a lower high, and now we're back to that level where we came down to back in June of last year. So it does look like with Litecoin, we are forming a similar descending triangle to the two previous cycles with Litecoin, even though Bitcoin has a different pattern. And obviously, Litecoin hasn't performed as good this cycle. We will look at some other altcoins. And this is both the Litecoin cycles here, the 2018 bear market and the current cycle here. We do see how similar the two are. And we could possibly be around here somewhere with one more touch to come on this descending triangle before breaking down and going to the bottom of the bear market. So we are seeing evidence when looking at Litecoin that it has entered a bear market since May of 2021 and it is doing a very similar pattern to its previous bear market. But that's just a Litecoin chart. So let's look at some more charts. This is Stellar Lumens. This is the 2018 bear market. Again, we see a similar descending triangle pattern, several touches on both sides. It broke down, formed the bottom of the bear market. And this is Stellar Lumens currently. We see a similar thing as Litecoin. We did reach a top here in May, had a big correction, and looks like we are forming a similar descending triangle. It may not be perfect with this horizontal line, but this is just the general pattern. We could have one more touch to the upside before breaking down, or this could be the actual breakdown where we do go lower over time to reach the bottom of that bear market. And comparing both bear markets on Stellar Lumens here, we do see those similarities like we did with Litecoin. And onto a different altcoin now. This is Monero. This is the 2018 bear market. We had a blow off top and we see a similar descending triangle pattern. We broke down below and formed the bottom of the bear market. And this is Monero currently. We see a similar blow off top here. getting a few bounces off this horizontal line, and perhaps we've broken that line, or we could take it from this wick. But it is just that general pattern. And now both bear markets for Monero, we see how similar they are with these descending triangles, similar to Stellar Lumens and Litecoin. Just looking at those three coins, it does seem like they have entered a bear market. We could say those coins didn't perform as well, and they're not quite the mainstream coins. So we're going to take a look at Link now. Link doesn't have the history going back to that 2018 bear market. So we're just looking at the current price action for Link. And what we do see is we did have this run up. We did peak in May of last year. And now we have also been making this descending triangle pattern with several touches on both sides. And this does look like that typical bear market pattern. And Link did perform quite well in this bull run, and did spend time in the top 10 cryptos in market cap. And another newer coin that did do quite well in the bull run here, this is Maker. You can see it had that big run up here, did about a 12x here in a few months. And since then, we have also formed this descending triangle type pattern here. So is that evidence that we are in a bear market? Obviously, not all the coins have those patterns, but we've just taken a selection of some newer coins and coins with a longer history. So now I just want to compare Litecoin and Bitcoin here. Litecoin on the top, Bitcoin on the bottom, with the same time scale. We see 2018 here, 2022 over here. And this is on the log scale down here for Bitcoin, because it does get quite hard to see this triangle pattern. So it does look a little bit skewed. We did look at it on the regular scale on the previous chart, but we can see they both topped out here at a similar time, and they both formed these descending triangle patterns in 2018. They both broke down until they reached the bottom of the bear market around 2019. And looking at the current bull run here, we do see that Litecoin topped in May and has been forming lower highs along this horizontal line of support. Whereas Bitcoin, we did have this drop back down and we did form that higher high. And so it does lead to the possibility that we're still in a bull run on Bitcoin. We do have a higher high here and possibly a higher low. So how can we explain this? This is what I'm theorizing here. We do see on the altcoins, they did have more of a blow off top here before their correction, whereas Bitcoin did get stuck in this sideways range around 60K. And of course, what happened around this time, we did have that China mining ban and also lots of other FUD going on. Elon Musk was playing some games with these Bitcoin tweets, but I think Bitcoin was already heading down. He just tipped it over the edge. But I think the biggest thing here was that China mining ban. And I do think if that didn't happen, we perhaps would have had a blow off top here, possibly towards 100,000, done a similar pattern to a lot of these altcoins. So you could say that might have been a bit more manipulated. Perhaps the institutions didn't want it to get to 100,000. So they did push it back down to be able to buy it at half price here, around 30,000. And then they did push it higher to be able to get those gains that they might have missed out on by not getting in early enough. So it could be some manipulation, or it could just be that China banned Bitcoin. So it did change the expected pattern here. We could theorize that this descending triangle is missing this first touch point, but perhaps we're still going to form this descending triangle similar to some of these altcoins, eventually break down and form the bear market low. I tend to think that the China ban on the mining did have a big effect on the price here and did put in a local top here. And if that didn't happen, I think we possibly would have went to 100,000 and did this typical descending triangle pattern. There was still a lot of buyers here. Everyone was expecting higher prices. And we did have that Wyckoff pattern here, which is typical of manipulation in markets. And we also had a similar Wyckoff pattern at the bottom here. So just something interesting to think about. It is good to compare some of these other coins. And for me, it does give that extra bit of evidence that some of the other coins here are behaving like they've entered a bear market, doing similar patterns to their previous bear markets. So tell me what you think in the comments. I'd like to know your opinions on this. So a bit of a different video today. Hope you enjoyed something different there. Thanks for watching. I'm Bitcoin Mamo. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.